Welcome to Judge My Round with Tom Brennan. Hayden, I've just received your video and we're going to get started watching it. This is my first time seeing it and we'll give you my first impressions and score it at the end here. Looks like we're at Beautiful Lake Placid. A little vocal from your horse. Looks sort of like a 3-3 junior class maybe. Loving the canter. This looks super quality here. Great turnout. Beautiful first jump. If they're all like that, we're going to be really happy. Really nice expression. The horse looks like a hunter. Okay, loving this so far. This is really quite good. Just so even paced. Really nice to watch. Smooth jumping, very good style. They're all matching. Jumps well behind, has a good finish.
The score for Amy Smith, the board's pickpocket.
She's making this ring look easy because I've judged here and not everyone finds it as easy as this rider is. Maybe a little bit rude in the mouth there. That might keep me out of a 90 score, but I'm still pretty high. I'm probably right around an 87 or an 88 for that. That was excellent. As you're trotting to finish, we will take a closer look in this next section. But oh, okay. Well, your judges liked it too. I can hear in the video. But really nice presentation. Relaxed horse from start to finish. So Hayden, from a judge's point of view, I obviously really enjoyed that round. Congratulations on such a good trip. But let's take a little bit of a closer look and see if there are a couple things that could have gone differently or that we could do differently to improve that score. So when your horse is coming in, there is a moment where he whinnies a little bit. I wouldn't get too hung up on that. Still looks calm and relaxed. He hasn't lost any rideability or become too distracted. But then you're right to work in a really good canter and he looks relaxed. He's eager. He's forward. Looks like a horse that likes his job. And I think you are right on target with the pace. And you're right out of stride to fence one, which is really great. Maybe the best jump on course from this angle. What I particularly like about it is the height and the finish of the jump. It's very relaxed with the rider out of the way. We're going to revisit that a little later in course. As you come to jump 2, we're going to pause real quickly just to talk about your horse's shape. He's so light in his presentation of the first jump. As we get to 2, he almost looks a little low and maybe leaning on you. Now he jumps a great jump, but it just isn't as lofty and airy as the first jump, which was spectacular. But nonetheless, I'm still loving it and excited to watch the rest of the course. Now here there's a little breather. You show off your horse's canter very nicely. It looks exactly like the left lead that we had going to the first jump. That's a really good sign. We don't have the best view of the 2-stride jumping away, but you can tell it is even, it is smooth, and it is straight. From behind, he's jumping very well. And it's a little bit worth noting that he's landed on all of the correct leads so far, showing he's an ambidextrous athlete. Now that line you did very well, but we could make it a little better. So we're going to rewind and watch that again. Now this line in front of the judge's point of view rides a little forward. You have a nice smooth track in and you have plenty of pace, but it's still a continuing line. And here's where I think your showmanship could improve. When we get about halfway up this line or so, you realize that you've measured the out of the line and you need to keep continuing your gallop to get there. And you just get, for the first time in the whole course, a little busy with your elbows and your seat, aggressively driving the horse up. Now, he's such a nice horse. He lifts up, he jumps a great jump, but it does just cue the judge, hey, maybe this isn't as easy as it's been looking. And it also sets up your horse, I think, for this little bit of tug of war you're about to have in this corner. He just sort of roots his mouth right there. And you do a very good job of handling it with poise and tact and salvaging a good line for the rest of your course. But when we go back and watch it and think about how that compares to the first jump, which was so light and soft and beautiful, this just isn't as good as those first 7 jumps on course. And you don't have the chance to show off that beautiful free landing that we liked at the beginning. You end up getting forced into this short, controlling crest release that stemmed from the override up the judge's line. Now, of course, we're really being a little picky, and I wouldn't change too much about this round because the current situation is really so good. Obviously, I liked it, and the judge that day did as well. But I get the impression that sometimes you're holding your horse up, or maybe back, and it would be that much better if the horse could do that for himself. With a little bit different last line, I could see myself giving this an even higher score. Hayden, your question asked how I would handle a horse who whinnies the way your horse did at the beginning of this round. Obviously, I didn't really mind it too much. I didn't take off for it. I don't think your horse became unruly or looked nervous about the job at hand. Obviously, it'd be better without that, but it was a one-off situation, and as soon as you put him to work, he was all about winning that class. So it's situational and relative to the rest of the things that happened that day, but I think it comes down to a matter of repetition. It happened once, it was a brief moment in time, and then you made me forget about it by having such a beautiful round. I hope you enjoyed this and found it useful. I really enjoyed watching your horse, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to judge your round.